Ladies and gentlemen, I think that was a little bit late, but anyway, that's beyond the point. My name is Digital598. Today I'm here, another Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. What a surprise. Get this guy, he barely beats me to first blood, kills my teammate because he's running out there like an idiot. But as you'll see later in this gameplay, I will also be doing the same, trying to get the bombs. I do go even, or go positive, but I do get quite a bit of deaths. Sorry about that. I do start off with a nice streak right here. I'm sorry if it's a little bit campy, but today what I want to talk about is Trayvon Martin versus George Zimmerman. I get lucky here. Thank you, Top Pop 8, or whatever your name is. Anyway, George Zimmerman versus Trayvon Martin. First off, people are saying that Zimmerman could overpower him. I disagree. In that picture that they're showing on the news, they're trying to make it look like a 21-year-old shot or a 30-year-old shot a 12-year-old, which is not the case. If you see that picture of him in his uniform for football, that is from, I want to say, 7th grade. It's from his middle school years, about 5 years ago. If you see a picture of him in a red Hollister shirt, that is also from about 5 years ago. If you look up on his Twitter name is no_limit_nigga. And I quote, I don't want to be like, I did not mean that racistly, I'm just saying that's what his name is. It's Nigga, and if you look on his posts, some of them are him with a grill in his mouth, and he, not to be like racially profiling here, but he looks like what America typically profiles as gangsters. There's also the one of him in, it shows a picture of him, I guess his baby mama's name is tattooed onto his arm. There's ones that, and I quote, that says, fuck a bitch, any bitch. And I quote. But there's one that, apparently it's from a song, I don't know the song, but it says something to the effect of, I would kill all these haters if I could, or something, but, it shows him as the typical, not really typical, but as what we perceive as the American people, the typical gangster or gangbanger, end quote. But really, I'm not gonna do anything on that, cause like right beside me in the room is my sister dates a black guy and I'm white. But I don't have a problem with that. It's cool. It's personality, not skin color. But the thing that he could overpower him, I don't agree with, because that picture is old of George Zimmerman when he weighed 250 pounds. And it's being reported that he now only weighs 170 pounds, and he was a shorter male. I'm about 5'9", and it was perceived that he could be anywhere from 5'2" to 5'10", but they're thinking he's about 5'8". That's what experts are doing him if you do your Google searches and search around. So 5'8", I'm taller than him. And right there, I got gunned down. That's a firing range. Anyway, he's 5'8", so that's not too big. And 170 pounds, it's gonna make him look kind of chubby because he's shorter, but, he's not really gonna be. If he was stretched out to the height of what Trayvon Martin is, which apparently his parents have released that he was 6'2", 6'2" and 160 pounds, so he has what, 5'8", that's 4 inches, 6 inches over Zimmerman's head. I hope I did my math right. Yeah, 4 plus 2. Yeah, 6 inches, and don't know how that guy gets me, so I immediately charge back. Just talking about gameplay, but 6 inches over his head. and there's only a 10-pound difference. If you've ever fought somebody or grappled somebody, you would know that unless they're way heavier than you, it doesn't really make a difference, but height gives you leverage. That's the same thing in, like, arm wrestling. You could be the same strength, bench press the same, curl the same, whatever, but if your arm's higher up, then you have leverage on the guy, or if your arm's off the table. And what I'm perceiving is what they said was Zimmerman was going to, he wasn't going to pursue, but even when the cops told him not to, even if he did, it could have been something from a fight or flight response in his body, making him want to attack his pursuer. And the way that I imagine it going down was he asked him what he's doing, then words get exchanged and it gets physical. So if he chases after him, I do not know, I'm supposing he has a concealed carry, felonied. But if he does have a concealed carry, then it would be okay for him to carry a gun, so he can't be charged there. But if not, then he shouldn't be carrying a gun. End of round 1. We lost that one, but 2,500 XP, not bad. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with that there if he does have the gun and he's concealed carry, so that's legal. But also, like I said, the leverage, the way that they're saying is that when he shot him, Martin had Zimmerman banging his head on concrete, and that'd be scary if you think about it. Imagine that you get somebody, it doesn't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, any race that you want to, and they're banging your head on the concrete, and they're 6 inches taller than you. You're gonna be scared. And you might think, are they going to kill me? And when that thought crosses your head, you have a legal right to shoot somebody. If I'm in Florida, it's if you fear for serious bodily injury, death, or rape, you can shoot somebody. So if you do shoot him and you think, well, I thought he's going to kill me banging my head on the ground, then it's not morally right, because you killed a man, but it's legally right. So he would be good there. The only reason that this is getting so much publicity is because they want to say it's racially motivated, that he shot him in cold blood, and the way that they're perceiving it is, they're saying that he's shooting him, sorry if you can hear me, like making T sounds. They're saying that he shot Martin, like execution styles, the way if you listen to, you have HLN, shows like Nancy Grace, Jane Velez Mitchell, those types of shows. They're news, but they're not really news like CNN. Because they'll get stuck on the same topic. I remember listening about Casey Anthony for months and months and months, and I didn't hear another thing. I remember hearing about the girls in, was it Florida? No. Wherever it was, where they had, New York State, where they had the twitching going on. And surprisingly, once they found that the schools weren't liable for whatever caused their Tourette's-like syndromes, you never hear another thing about it. Dr. Drew backs off. Jane Brockovich backs off. There's nothing else on these girls. It's like the school's not liable, no news story here. And that's exactly what's going to come out of this case with Zimmerman and Martin. It's just going to be another thing where it's no different. They're going to figure out that either he feared for his life, he thought that Martin was going to kill him banging his head on concrete, and there's one police surveillance video when he walks away. You can just type in, I just googled George Zimmerman's um busted or cut head or something head George or Zimmerman's cut head or something, and it'll show it where it's a double picture and has a white background, and you can see the thing. There's a full website devoted to this. It says showing a it shows the thing if you watch the news, the picture of Zimmerman in County Blues, and I would want to say that picture's when he's 21. And how old is Zimmerman now? I'm not real sure how old he is now, but it shows him in like the county blue or oranges, like in a mugshot, and then it shows a 5-year-old picture of Trayvon Martin, and it says, "You want to show these pictures to the media to can play at that game," and it shows a picture of Martin with tattoos, his pants down to his knees, boxers, no shirt on, flipping off the camera, and then it shows George Zimmerman in a it shows him in a business suit, and he looks like a friendly guy. It's not something like that. I can't anything on Google about how old Zimmerman is. I want to say maybe he was 28. That sound right? Something. I saw thing is like 17 versus 28 or something. I don't know if that's right or not. But I'm looking at a picture right now of him, and it says, like, this is actually a news article. It says 17-year-old hoodlum Trayvon Martin shot by George Zimmerman in self-defense. And that's a real news item. And it shows the different ones. Basically, I'm looking at a pie graph right now that shows the segments covering Trayvon Martin on cable news. HLN, 97% of the time it's on Zimmerman. CNN, 41%. And then Fox News has 1% of the time it's talking about this. It's not right. They're showing this, like, in a prison, like the county colors, and they show a 5-year-old picture of a kid. It makes it look like somebody shot a 12-year-old, and that's not happened at all. And I don't know who's guilty, who's not. I don't want to say who's guilty. I'm just saying they need to portray this right in the media. But if I had to bet, I would imagine that, because Zimmerman, I was watching CNN tonight, it shows a reporter saying the most, he never played football, which Martin did, and the most rugged sport that he ever played was ping pong. So he could easily get overpowered. 10 pounds isn't going to make a difference when you're tons stronger than somebody. Like, that 10 pounds could be fat, while 100 or 20 pounds of him could be fat, while only 7 pounds of him is fat. Which I know that's not actual numbers, but just saying, if it's more muscle, then you can overpower somebody, and if he gets him banging on the ground, then he feared for his life, he could shoot him. And really, it doesn't matter if he had marijuana in his bag, it doesn't matter if the police told him not to pursue, that kind of matters, but the fact is that he feared for his life and he shot somebody. Nothing else should be pulled into that. That's basically right there. And if I was a juror, I could not convict him for having a reasonable doubt that he actually was in the right to shoot him, so I don't know. What do y'all think? Comment below. Should he have been shot? Should he not have? Um, what do y'all think happened? But I'm out. I'm gonna go play Modern Warfare 3 on the new game types. And I know it's not the best game ever, but have a nice day.